Rachel.
Hi.
I'm here for the Insider to ask you 23 questions.
All right, sounds great.
So how would you describe your role in the UPU?
So I'm kind of a dual role. So one part I do the academic advising portion for the undergraduate students, and the other part I take care of the Schulich Ambassador program. So all students who want to be an ambassador, putting on the different events for them throughout the year, and also developing a new professional development series.
And what do you love most about your job?
Definitely the students.
What was your favorite thing about high school?
Favorite thing about high school was probably being involved. So I was on music council, prefects, you kind of name it. I was like that high school keener.
So I hear you're a certified high school teacher. What subject would you want to teach?
I am qualified to teach geography and history, and I'm also a guidance counselor.
Do you have any hidden talents?
I do. Do you want to see one?
Sure.
Okay, come with me. So I think I have a good hidden talent of balancing things on my head.
Okay.
And I think I'm really talented, but you can tell me if I really am. Let's see. All right, here we go.
So what's the best advice you've ever received?
The best advice I ever received was, she put it as being green. So kind of think about a bank, for example. Sometimes when you go to the bank, you're going to put a lot of deposits. So you're going to put a lot of deposits into different people, companies, things. And sometimes you're going to need a favor, and that's when you're going to do the withdrawals. So when you put a lot of deposits into people, when you need to, you can hopefully withdraw from them and get to wherever you need to be.
That's pretty cool. Mm-hmm. What's the best advice you've ever given?
I think in an advising sense, one of the best pieces of advice I've ever given is telling students not to let their academic record, kind of affect them or speak for them. It's not if you don't do as well in your first year, that doesn't mean you're never going to amount to anything. I always tell sometimes students who feel like they're a little upset about their performance that, in first year here at York, I was on academic warning and I turned out just fine, and I graduated 3 times from York in a graduate degree, professional degree, and I didn't let it kind of like define who I was. And so I think letting students know that it's not a definition of who you are, of how you perform in one year or the next year. It's about the overall performance.
Approximately how many student ambassadors are there?
We have about a little bit over 1,000 ambassadors that are registered, and I think just a little bit less that are consistently active.
And what are the benefits of being a student ambassador?
It's definitely something for students to write on their resume, that what makes them a little bit different from the next Schulich student. It gives them an opportunity to kind of talk about, other opportunities where they've built on their soft skills, so things that are outside of the classroom. And this year we're planning on putting together some professional development series and workshops to kind of help them build more credentials.
What's your favorite thing about York?
My favorite thing, there's 3 favorite things, and it's free, cheap, and discount. And whenever you see those 3 words, those are my favorite things at York.
What are the best ways for students to get involved in the school community?
The best way for students to get involved is to be able to just kind of take initiative and not be scared and just go out there, do things without friends, not feel like they have to do something with everyone. And especially in a Schulich sense, get out of Schulich, do something that's on your campus, and just research and have fun.
And what's your favorite event that you have planned for this year?
For this year, one of the things that I'm really excited about, I was kind of talking about earlier, was the professional development series, and I'm planning on developing a whole kind of workshops for the Schulich Ambassador program. So one that I've planned is actually verbal judo, and it is run by some security members here at York, and it's looking at how to diffuse difficult situations verbally.
So you kind of answered this already, but where did you go to school?
I went to York, and I did 3 degrees at York, so I've basically never left this place.
And what's the worst book you've ever read?
Probably gonna have to be like a school textbook is probably the worst book I've ever read. I'm just even trying to think about what was the worst one. They're all pretty bad though.
Where would you want to go on exchange if you were a student?
Italy, 100% Italy. I had family that lived in Italy like before my grandparents after the war, so then they came to Canada, so I definitely would want to kind of explore Italy a little bit more and kind of relive different places they lived.
What food would you want to try the most?
I love on Instagram watching a lot of those like food videos, and I think I really want to try probably the charcoal ice cream that's going around right now. That's something I want to try.
So how would you describe Schulich in one word?
Loud.
What's one thing students can do to maximize their university experience?
One thing is definitely getting involved. We talked a little bit about getting involved and getting out there, so that would definitely be beneficial and trying to look for opportunities everywhere.
And how many hours of study should students be committing to each week?
I think we typically say you spend as much time as you spend in class, you should spend outside of class, and I think it might depend week to week what you've got going on, but definitely a couple hours a week is definitely necessary.
Draw what you think is the biggest distraction for students.
Okay. I really hope this is pretty clear that's in an iPhone. But I think the biggest distraction is definitely technology. It's everywhere, it's incorporated even now into schooling, and I just find it just so easy to kind of spend an hour just flipping through any kind of social media platform.
And what's your favorite social media platform?
Instagram.
Do you think having a strong online presence is important?
Absolutely. I think definitely students should be ensuring that they have, like, say, a LinkedIn account. I think it's really important to have a professional presence online, and definitely, the personal stuff, like lock it away, but for sure in a professional sense, definitely to be online.
So it's time for the last question. What do you think is the biggest challenge about being a student in 2017?
I think the biggest challenge is balance. I think students of today have to work to fund their education and also, help out with family as well. So I think one of the biggest things that definitely would trouble them is trying to balance all the different types of things they've got going on in their lives.
So that marks the end of the 23 questions. Thank you so much for having us.
Thank you. Okay, guys, see you.
Bye.
Bye.